Welcome to Christian World News. I'm Mark Martin. George Thomas and Wendy Griffith are on assignment. Pastor 앤드류 Brunson is finally free. A Turkish court ordered him released from house arrest and said he could leave the country. Brunson has been imprisoned for more than 2 years on terrorism charges. As Chris Mitchell reports from Jerusalem, Brunson's arrest has brought two NATO allies, the United States and Turkey, face-to-face in a major geopolitical confrontation over the fate and future of this evangelical minister.
Pastor Brunson's ordeal has mobilized Christians around the world.
Hundreds of thousands of people have been praying for Pastor Brunson, not just in the United States, but around the world.
Before the court hearing, U.S. Vice President Mike Pence said the release of Pastor Brunson has been a priority for the Trump administration.
Our administration has made very clear that we will continue to stand strong until Pastor 앤드류 Brunson is free and back home in the United States with his family and with his church.
This is historic in that how many times they have actually brought this subject up in high-level conversations with the Turkish administration.
Turkey accused Brunson of participating in a 2016 coup to overthrow the government of Turkish President Erdogan and faces up to 35 years if convicted. His latest trial took place near the city of Izmir, known as ancient Smyrna in the New Testament. Brunson ministered for more than 2 decades in his church and denied the charges. The Trump administration imposed economic sanctions against Turkey to secure his release. Middle East analyst Michael Karam said Pastor Brunson stood for more than his own freedom.
I believe this is really a call to prayer, not only for 앤드류, but for the Turkish and Kurdish and Arab and Syrian and Iraqi and Iranian people, all living very much close, because it's clear that 앤드류 Brunson is in prison or under arrest for one reason, and that's his hope and faith in Jesus Christ as the Messiah, not only of the West, but of the entire world.
Brunson is expected to be back in the United States soon. Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
What an answer to prayer. And CBN News Chief International Correspondent Gary Lane joins us now. Welcome, Gary.
Glad to be here.
What role did the Trump administration play in all of this?
Well, a huge role. I mean, we have to give credit to God first and foremost.
Yes, definitely.
But Donald Trump never gave up on 앤드류 Brunson, and he was always speaking about it. Also, think of the Christians that are around him in his administration. Vice President Mike Pence. He was tenacious on this issue. Also, Mike Pompeo, Secretary of State. They always brought it up. They, I'm sure, in their own prayer times, prayed for 앤드류 Brunson.
Oh, I believe
it was
that.
a big issue for them.
Yes, sure was.
Sure.
What kind of financial pressure did the United States put on Turkey?
Well, that probably politically that was a big key as well, because what the Trump administration did, Donald Trump, if you remember, last July and August. In July 25th, he was not released. Brunson was not released. He was put under house arrest. Everyone thought he'd be freed at that time. Trump was angry about that. He said, we're going to impose sanctions right away. And what he did, Mark, is he imposed sanctions on the two of the top officials in the Turkish government, one the justice minister, the other the interior minister. And right away they did that. And then he threatened more sanctions against Turkey, saying basically we'll impose sanctions on aluminum and steel if you guys don't let Brunson go.
Well, let's talk more about prayer and the role that it played in all of this.
Well, prayer played a big role. Christians around the world got on their knees and they prayed for Pastor Brunson. They prayed in their own time and also as groups. And we can't say enough about that, the importance of that. That may have made the difference in this.
Oh, I believe so.
And inspired our leaders also to keep pushing for it.
Yeah, and build their confidence and their faith.
Sure. But
yes.
let's not forget about Brunson. I mean, this man had strong faith. He never let up. 앤드류 Brunson was a man of faith. He did say at times when he was in prison, sure, he got a bit depressed, but he said, look, this is a privilege to serve in prison for Jesus in this way. And then today he said, look, I love Jesus, I love Turkey.
Yes, he even lost 50 pounds, but he was even talking to inmates in prison about Jesus.
Yes.
What a testimony he has.
He may have lost weight, but not faith in Christ.
That's right. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate it.